Born and raised in Phoenix, third generation Phoenician, fourth generation Arizonan. Historically, the family's from the Prescott area. You know, I always was kind of one of the kids that liked to build things. My dad's business was related somewhat to construction. He had a hardware business that he sold to contractors. But really, I got into ASU, was going to school, wanted something a little different than just the business school, and found the School of Construction in the engineering department at ASU. And walked over one day and signed up that day. And when I got out of school, there were just no jobs in home building, so I signed on, got employed by a small grading and paving company, and after 4 years of that, decided to start out a little business myself in the garage of my house. First year was in the house, and then from then it just kept growing, so moved out and went from doing small parking lots to larger civil engineering projects. There was a trucking shortage, and so in order to get, being new in the business, in order to get truckers when other people were getting more of them, I started paying the truckers every Friday in cash and getting them, so I was higher on their list. And one day my wife called me and said, I got tied up at a client's office, and called me and said, we have 25 truckers lined up and down our residential street, and the guys were sitting in the front yard partying. And that kind of became the end of the neighbors wanting me having the business out of the house. Success has to do with the people around you, and if you put good people around you, you can enjoy the business, and if don't put people first, you're going to struggle. I would like to say I had someone that I was following, but I didn't. I did look at our clients, the bigger clients, the successful clients. I looked at what they did, and I stayed involved in associations and learned from other people in the associations. It's kind of hard to say it, but sometimes having a drink at a bar with someone who has done it before, you learn as much as you do attending other type of functions. You just sit and talk to people, and you listen to them, and you see what works and hasn't worked for them, and try not to make every mistake yourself. My son is our chief operating officer now and runs the day-to-day operation of the business. My youngest daughter is a vice president of the company, very involved in all the operational end also. And my oldest daughter is a part-time stay-at-home mom and a part-time doing projects for the business because she's a CPA by trade. I think I enjoy the trickier projects that might not stand out as much, but are, the moving all the rock up by Anthem in the middle of the freeway while the freeway was working, remodeling 9 miles of Grand Avenue. From the early years, probably one of the biggest one is when they were building the Hughes helicopter plant. Now it's not called Hughes Helicopter anymore, but out in Mesa. And we were working 7 days a week, 10 hours a day, building it, as then Senator Barry Goldwater was fighting with the Department of Defense, saying they will never build that plant unless they make changes. And the whole time, of course, we were out there working 7/10s. It was just a matter of when they made a deal, not if they made a deal. And then more recently, I just think there's a lot of projects. We've enjoyed some of the freeway projects that we've been involved with. I'm a big believer in the organizations in the industry. I'm a big believer in giving back. I think you get more out of it than you give when you. So I've always encouraged the members of the company, and myself included, to be involved in associations. Specifically the CFMA, I think, does a great job. You've got construction is a different type of accounting, a different type of business in general when it comes to collections and contracts and all the various phases that the construction professionals from an accounting perspective are involved in. And I think having people involved in an organization like CFMA, you learn so much, and you also are giving back to the industry, which is very important. But I think anytime you give to the industry, you get more than you give.